And here we are in China with Danny Rick on pole. He did say in an interview he would not hold that pole position, but it's lights out and away we go. The question is, will Ricciardo be able to hold that pole position that he said he wouldn't? It's they're out and Ricciardo gets a pretty good start. Vettel goes down the inside. Ricciardo goes wide into one. Hamilton goes down the inside of Ricciardo. Bottas is having a look at Ricciardo, as is Verstappen. Ricciardo's had a horrible start here. We knew he would be able to hold that pole position, but man, he's lost so many places. And now side by side, round the outside goes Lewis Hamilton. Here he comes side by side with Sebastian Vettel. Down the inside of Vettel. Vettel goes very late on the brakes to go round the outside of his title challenger Lewis Hamilton. Vettel's really going to want to get some points on Lewis today, but Hamilton goes right around the outside. That's one of the best moves I've ever seen here in China. What a move, and now he's under threat from Bottas. It looks like Ricciardo's coming under threat from his teammate. Oh, he pushes Verstappen a little bit there and touches the grass. Ricciardo's got a horrible start here in China. And here goes Max Verstappen round the outside of Ricciardo. No, sorry, down the inside of Ricciardo. What a move from Max to get up in front of his teammate. Of course, last race, his teammate, he went out, but unfortunately it was raining come the end of qualifying, and that meant Ricciardo, he was on the driest part of the track and went on to set a brilliant lap to take pole position, but he has not held it, not even close. Hamilton leads. Here comes Daniel Ricciardo round the outside of Max Verstappen. Verstappen defends on the inside. Ricciardo goes nice and wide. Oh, he's actually gone a little bit too wide there. Nearly makes contact with Kimi Räikkönen, who's now under threat from, I believe that's Nico Hülkenberg. If not, it's Carlos Sainz, of course. As the Renaults are pretty good. There's also forcing up there. I imagine that's Sergio Perez, but Hamilton got the best possible start he could have wanted. But anyways, here comes Ricciardo back on his teammate. Round the outside, not quite. They take slightly different lines here through turns 1, 2, and 3. But of course it's Hamilton who leads from Seb, and then Bottas, who seems to be kind of near Seb. And then it looks like Ricciardo's coming into threat from Kimi. Kimi has a look, and he can't make it work. Ricciardo, good defending from Daniel. Now he needs to go in pursuit of his teammate. So yes, as I was saying yesterday, qualifying, it was a crazy one, but of course Ricciardo wasn't expecting to really hold that P1, and oh, sorry, that's not entirely sure which Red Bull's in front. Anyways, that is Nico Hülkenberg who's best of the rest. Then it's Sergio Perez, then it's Carlos Sainz, followed by Kevin Magnussen doing a decent job in the Haas, and that's Fernando Alonso some ways up in that McLaren, and that is Daniel Ricciardo going side by side with Kimi Räikkönen. As you can see, I believe Verstappen is pulling away. Here comes Kimi Räikkönen with the Ferrari power. They nearly make contact there as Ricciardo squeezes Kimi right nearly onto the grass there. They come into the corner. Kimi goes a bit defensive. Not quite. Ricciardo has a luck. He touches the grass, and that means he goes wide, and now he's under threat from Nico Hülkenberg. The pole sitter is under threat from Nico Hülkenberg. And now they go down the straight. Ricciardo is now on the back of Kimi. What can he do against Kimi? You can see he goes a bit wider on his entry to turn 2. And he doesn't actually, he doesn't like to hit that apex to turn 3 because it gives him a better exit. Usually, it depends on the situation and what car is in front. But it looks like Hülkenberg's actually catching Ricciardo. Ricciardo not too quick through there. And Hülkenberg's actually genuinely caught up to the back of Danny Rick. So Ricciardo's pace, we knew it wasn't going to be Polestar fast, but this is beyond horrible. He's literally slower than the Renault of Nico Hülkenberg, at the moment at least. Then I believe the Toro Rossos are both quite close to each other, with Gasly in front, followed by Leclerc, and then Stoffel Van Dorn. Then it's Marcus Ericsson, Lance Stroll, and Sergei Sorokin pretty close to his teammate. And there goes Nico Hülkenberg round the outside of Daniel Ricciardo. Can he make this work? No! He goes a bit too wide, gets onto those marbles. Not too many marbles on the opening lap, but he doesn't get the best possible exit. Anyways, Ricciardo's going defensive. Here comes Nico Hülkenberg with that halo cam. No, we're going to go into the T-cam. Here comes Nico Hülkenberg with the Renault on the Red Bull to the outside. Ricciardo works very late there, and it means he goes a bit wide, but he's left the space for Hülkenberg, but he gets a better exit. Very good braking from Daniel Ricciardo, but something else to note is the Renault has some pretty good straight line speed, and Ricciardo has decided he's going to pit early. because those tires are not working for him, as Max Verstappen, I believe is Max Verstappen has caught up to Sebastian Vettel. So Verstappen's the one with the crazy pace today in the Red Bull, because Bottas has overtaken Vettel. The Mercedes have come alive in the race here. Just brilliant, brilliant race pace. And it's meaning Vettel isn't that quick, and it's that little battle with Bottas has allowed Verstappen to catch up to Vettel. As you can see, Hamilton is just pulling that gap. It's like watching Australia all over again. Lewis just getting that gap, getting the speed, getting in front really of Seb, and he's doing exactly what he needs to do for his championship here. And it's massive, the gap. It's only the I believe the third lap, if not the fourth lap, and he's pulled at least 5 seconds on his teammate. Going through the grid, doesn't look like Grosjean is anywhere near his teammate there, so that's a bit disappointing from Roman. But it looks like Kimi might be catching this little battle for P2, and here comes Sebastian Vettel on the back of Valtteri Bottas. Bottas goes defensive, Vettel goes to the outside, and who's going to be latest on the brakes? Bottas goes very late on the brakes. Down the inside goes Valtteri. He squeezes Seb off. Seb gets cut off. Very, very aggressive racing between the two, and Seb and Verstappen have pit together with Lewis Hamilton, but because Hamilton's pitting, it means Bottas is going to have to go an extra lap, and now Vettel has the opportunity to undercut Bottas, but of course, Bottas can very well overcut Vettel, and here comes Kevin Magnussen on the back of Carlos Sainz. Sainz hasn't been quite as quick as Nico Hülkenberg has been this season, but he hasn't exactly been horrible, given Hülkenberg has already been with the team for a season back in 2017, of course, and here comes Hamilton out the pits, and he's just been driving a pretty flawless race so far. Started P3, and he just overtook those guys to get up into P1, and here comes Danny Ricciardo round the outside of Sebastian Vettel. Can he make this work? He's got the outside. Look at the grip of that Red Bull. Down the inside goes Danny Ricciardo. What a move to get up in front of his former teammate. Incredible overtake. That undercut's worked out brilliantly. Ricciardo seems to have a lot more pace on these softs. Verstappen's lost tons of time to his teammate there. So possible preferential treatment perhaps, or maybe just a different strategy call, as they saw Ricciardo was a bit off the pace on those ultras. Well, Max did seem to have a lot of pace on the ultras, but unfortunately it seems he's been held in the pits. And it's allowed his teammate Danny Rick to once again get in front of him. But as we saw, Max's race pace seems to be pretty good as Ricciardo loses the back end there. And that's going to allow Seb to catch right up to the back of him. And now this is very crucial for Seb, because he needs Ricciardo to push. He needs to try and overtake Bottas with his undercut. See Ricciardo going much quicker to through that long right-hander, taking a bit of a different line. He goes defensive, trying to get out of that slipstream. Seb does go back to that slipstream anyways. Whether it be on the clean or dirty side of the track, Ricciardo goes back to the straight part. You can see the straight line difference the Ferrari has. Down the inside goes Vettel. Ricciardo's going to try a switchback. Will he be able to do it? They nearly make contact there. And look at the straight line speed from the Ferrari. That engine just goes. It just powers away. But Ricciardo's going to have the slipstream. He's going to have the DRS as well. Here comes Danny Rick. Hamilton's pulling away with this, and that's frustrating Seb. Here comes Ricciardo. He goes to the inside. And down the inside goes Ricciardo. Seb holds it around the outside. They're going to go side by side. Seb goes to the... Why did they make contact? They had contact. Ricciardo's got a bit too much speed through turn 2. And they make a bit of contact there, because no way Seb was at fault for that, as he left the door completely open for Ricciardo. But Ricciardo barges his way through to get in front of Seb, but he doesn't look like he's got great pace. He has to go defensive there. Vettel's gonna get the possible switch back here. No, he's actually gonna go around the outside. Surely not, just like he did to Ricciardo in 2017. Can he do it in 2018? He's gonna go down the inside. They're gonna go side by side. Ricciardo and Vettel. Vettel goes down the inside. He's gonna have the outside. Ricciardo breaks very late for the next corner. And now they are again Vettel make the move down the inside. No, he can't. Ricciardo goes a bit wider through this these two very close left-handers. They go down the straight. And yes, Hamilton is in the lead. Ricciardo is still there as Verstappen. Kimi has overtaken Verstappen. That's tragic for Max. Max has just lost 2 places to 2 guys he was in front of, and he was near Seb as well. But here comes Sebastian Vettel. Red Bull has no straight line speed today. As we saw even against the Works Renault car, they seem to have tons of drag. But here comes Vettel down the straight. Goes to the outside. Who's going to be latest on the brakes? Seb goes very late on the brakes. Ricciardo has to cut the corner not to make contact. Who's getting a better exit? Looks like that Ferrari power is just going to let Seb bolt away. As you can see, once again, Seb is in front of the final corner, but he locks up. Sebastian Vettel locks up. He's made a big mistake. Ricciardo's going to have to DRS. They're going to go side by side. Oh, and actually Seb gets on front. But it seems like the virtual safety car is deployed. That is tragic for Ricciardo, who's doing well, but here is why. As you can see, Esteban Ocon there, it looks like his engine's struggling a bit, and that's it. He's out of the race. Esteban Ocon, I believe, was actually in front of his teammate Sergio Perez, is out of the race. And it's actually, sorry, it's a full course safety car, and that has allowed Valtteri Bottas to take the lead? Because Valtteri is actually in the lead of the race. And yeah, anyways, here we are doing the safety car period on board with Kevin Magnussen, who's been doing a pretty good job today. And oh, I'm not too sure what's going on because they just passed the safety car, so this is quite confusing. It would be a bit of a weird situation, but either way, there is a safety car. And we're actually on board with Sergei Sorokin here, and... Oh! And what's going on with him? He's out of the race, and they're in the safety car. Oh my god, what is going on here? Here we are watching Ricciardo and Vettel? Oh, Sainz is in front of Hulkenberg here. That's Pierre Gasly in the Toro Rosso in front of Kevin Magnussen and Roman Grosjean. And Van Doren's actually in front of Alonso, who was destroying him earlier. So I believe... Yes, okay, Hamilton has the lead. In front of Bottas and then Seb. So that's pretty frustrating for Seb, who had been pushing in that undercut, but of course he is. That battle with Ricciardo has not helped his case. I believe Bottas either was helped by the safety car, or Ricciardo just slowed him down. And it looks like the safety car has pulled in. Yes, it has. So it's Hamilton's chance now. Try and get the best possible exit on the safety car restart. Sorry, brain kind of just died there. And Hamilton's going quite slowly, but looks like Bottas is going even slower because he's got Seb all over him and Daniel. Hamilton started pushing it. I think so. It looks like he's absolutely nailed the restart. Both Mercedes have, because they have already built a decent gap over the cars behind. Looks like Ricciardo is somewhat close to set, but it's actually coming more under threat from Kimi because of that Ferrari straight line speed. Here comes Kimi. Look at that defense from Ricciardo. Ricciardo goes back to the outside. Well, what racecrafts around the outside. Nearly goes under the grass there. And he really risked sliding right into the grass there. Oh, and here he goes down the inside of Kimi. Ricciardo's holding it, and he's actually lost out to Seb there. Looks like, I mean, he wasn't really in the hunt with Seb, but here goes Kimi down the inside. Late on the brakes goes Kimi. But Ricciardo goes around the outside. And he's held it. He's actually held it. Good job, and now Max Verstappen is behind them. But yeah, as I was saying, Ricciardo doesn't really have a chance against Seb, but here goes Kimi, because Kimi's going down the inside. And Ricciardo's going very wide there. It looks like he might have actually touched the grass. Just got a ton of understeer. Here he comes onto the straight. Loses the back end, does Ricciardo. Or no, he might have just been going defensive very aggressively. Because now Max Verstappen's on the back of Ricciardo. But anyways, as I was saying, Vettel was much quicker than Ricciardo. It's just that Ricciardo was using his slipstream and DRS to stay with Seb. Of course, Ricciardo has much better cornering speed than Seb in the Ferrari. And Hamilton he's actually losing time to Bottas here. Look at the speed Bottas got on the fresh tires. Can't Valtteri even the rest. Look at Seb too. Vettel is back in the hunt. It looked like he was out of it, but he's back into it. The battle for 4th place is now between Kimi, Ricciardo, and Max. As you can see, touching the outside, clipping the inside, touching the outside again. Here comes Kimi. He hasn't got the DRS, but we know that Red Bull isn't great in a straight line. And it doesn't look like the straight is going to be long enough. And Ricciardo went nice and wide through turn 2 once again. And the two Renaults have actually overtaken Perez in the Force India, so that's unfortunate for Perez, who had been doing a pretty good job staying in front of Sainz, and that's disappointing for Magnussen, who was behind, who was actually chasing him down. And here goes Alonso down the inside of his teammate. Van Dorn is behind. I think Alonso's made the move. Can Van Dorn come back at him? I don't think so. I think Alonso has overtaken Stoffel Van Dorn. I can't really tell the McLarens. Their numbers are not very clear, but you can see Ricciardo goes a bit wider there. It seems like he likes getting more turn and going nearly off track, but he's held it together. They come into the braking zone. Kimi is close behind. Ricciardo goes nice and wide through there, but here comes Kimi. Look at the straight line difference. He is flying here, is Kimi. He doesn't even need the slipstream. He's just got the DRS. He goes past Ricciardo. We're going to watch this from Ricciardo's point of view. Nice and late on the brakes from Ricciardo. Can he hold it? Kimi's actually held it around the outside. Nicely done from Kimi. Is Kimi going to do what Seb did? Use that Ferrari engine to get the better exit. But here comes Danny Rick. Do that final corner. Gets a nice exit there. Does Ricciardo. Opening up that, well, he's just going to use the slipstream. I mean, DRS might be active now. Anyways, here he goes down the inside. He couldn't make it work. He's going to go to the outside now. Here he goes down the inside. This is crazy. Craziness from Ricciardo, moving left to right and center. Trying to get past Kimi. Here he goes around the outside now of turn 3. Is it going to work? Verstappen's right behind there, waiting for one of them to crash into each other. As Ricciardo touches the grass twice there. Here he comes into the next corner. Down the inside goes Daniel Ricciardo. On Kimi. Nice and late on the brakes. Goes Ricciardo. Here comes Kimi. Back at him. Can he make this work? Not quite. Here comes Seb now on Bottas. Can he make this one work? Use the Ferrari engine. Look at the straight line speed he's got with the slipstream and DRS. Down the inside he goes on Bottas. Bottas doesn't land on the brakes. Around the outside, can Seb do it? Bottas did to him. Not quite. As they're quite close there, Kimi does the switchback. This is a great racing between the two of them. And Bottas actually does get in front of... And here we are watching the replay of that overtake. Bottas goes very late on the brakes in that final corner there. Brilliantly done. And now he's got the DRS. But here comes, I'll watch this battle here between Kimi and Ricciardo. Ricciardo loses the back end, but he comes out there. Anyways, Bottas stayed in front of Seb on that straight, despite Seb having, Bottas had the DRS. Seb just had the slipstream, and here it goes. Kimi around the outside of Ricciardo. Ricciardo's holding the tight inside line. Looks like Kimi's gonna try it. Oh, Ricciardo barely sneaks past. This battle between Kimi and Ricciardo is awesome. Kimi seems to have had a fire light up in him after a somewhat disappointing 2017 season. But anyways, here goes Ricciardo down the inside. Kimi goes around the outside. Is this gonna work? It is! It is! What a move from Kimi Räikkönen! He made it work. He did what Seb did to Ricciardo just the year before. But here comes Daniel. Oh my god, right. I thought he would send it down the inside. But it looks like his car got a bit unstable there. And it gets unstable again. Because now he loses the back and he's gonna squeeze Max. They're gonna go side by side. Max goes super late on the brakes. What a move from Max Verstappen. Ricciardo's losing places everywhere, just like he did on that ultra soft stint, but he goes back down the inside of Max. Great switchback. And it looks like Sainz is going to stay in front of Hulkenberg for the time being. And Hamilton is just pulling away in that lead. Seb is just trying to get past Bottas. Maybe Bottas is slowing down to help Lewis. I doubted it so early in the season that there would be really any team orders between them. But Lewis is on course to take his second race win of the season, and with it, the championship lead. Well, of course, he does have the championship lead, but he's looking to extend that championship lead. And anyways, here comes the Toro Rosso round the outside of Grosjean, I want to say. No, he's actually done both Hasses. That was Magnussen. He's done both Hasses there, Pierre Gasly. What a move. What a stunning move. As that looks like Hartley's struggling to hold off Alonso, but he's doing it at the moment. And Ricciardo's on the... Sorry, no. Verstappen's in front. Ricciardo's pushing to catch him. And it's like Kimi may have just gotten away from the Red Bulls. Yeah, it looks like the Red Bulls not too good. It's actually Ricciardo. Ricciardo's in front of Max again somehow. Oh, he must have gotten past on the DRS straight. But anyways, here... Oh, sorry, no. He got past with the switchback. I completely forgot about that. Sorry, guys. But anyways, has Max just overtaken Daniel? No, I think he's about to now. Here goes... No, here goes Ricciardo down the inside of Verstappen. Oh! I believe Ricciardo's in front. That was very aggressive if it was Ricciardo to move in front of his teammate like that. Yeah, I believe it was Ricciardo. Ricciardo, good move, good aggressive driving, but that could have also resulted in a almighty crash between the two Red Bulls. A bit like, actually, they haven't, well, like Australia, but not exactly. And it looks like the Renault of Carlos Sainz is now trying to join this battle. This is just like Australia between Verstappen and Ricciardo, except this time it's Verstappen who's quicker. So is Ricciardo going to lock up into the side of Verstappen? Ricciardo touches the grass there. It looks like he's touching the grass a lot here. And it's not doing his tire wear any good. But anyways, Hulkenberg at least seems to be catching them as well. Those Renaults are actually very quick this season. And they are definitely the closest in terms of... the team that could possibly that could possibly get into the top 3 and take Red Bull off third place, because Red Bull once again doesn't seem like they've really delivered a car that can challenge for these race wins, and definitely not a championship challenger, but they are a bit quicker than they were at this time last season. Anyway, this is Seb's last chance to possibly get in front of Bottas. It's the final lap of the race. Here he comes into the braking zone. Bottas does a double lockup. He makes a slight mistake, but he slows the car down. Here comes Ricciardo on Verstappen. Who is going to take 5 in the race. Verstappen's on the inside, Ricciardo's on the outside. Ricciardo gets just about in front, touches the grass on the outside. Here he is, he's just about in front. Verstappen's on the outside. Around the outside goes Max Verstappen. Up to the line, it's going to be right up to the line. Who is going to get in front? Max Verstappen has just about beaten Daniel Ricciardo. What a crazy finish between the two Red Bulls. But Max must be so happy he's beaten his teammates.
And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the